Welcome friends to the next part of the series 2012 UPSC Prelims question papers on geography and agriculture. First question that we are going to see: which of the following is or are cited by the scientist as a evidence for the continued expansion of universe? Okay, so universe, fundamentals of geography is one of our topics in the geography. In that you learn Big Bang theories, classical theories of origin of universe, origin of planets. Okay, all these theories you see. So from that this question has come. This is not given in the NCERT, but it is one of the very common knowledges that why there is an expansion of universe. Okay, so the basic reason of the expansion of universe, let us understand this. Detection of microwaves in the space. Detection of the microwaves in the space are not going to tell you whether universe is expanding or not. It will just tell you that there are microwaves in the space. So option 1 is, statement 1 is wrong. When statement 1 is wrong, option A and C, they are gone. Observation of redshift phenomena in the space. Yes, this is correct. Redshift phenomena means the object which is moving away from you. Okay, it appears on the red side of the spectrum. So here various galaxies, various planets, various stars, they appear to be going away from you. So they give the red shift in the spectrum. So this is correct. So it shows that whenever there is a big bang and something is expanding, things are going away from each other. So this red shift shows that objects are going away from each other. So this is correct. So 2 is there. Okay. So when 2 is there, 2 is correct answer. That means D is gone and directly option B comes. 2 is the correct option. Movement of the asteroids in the space are not going to tell you whether universe is expanding or not. Okay. Occurrence of supernova explosions in the space are also not going to tell you whether space is expanding or not. If space would have been contracted, then there would have been explosions of supernovas, then there would have been asteroids. So these are not the evidences. So the correct answer is option B. Okay. Next question. Electrically charged particles from space traveling at speed of several hundred kilometers per second can severely harm living beings if they reach the surface of the earth. What prevents them from reaching to the surface of the earth? Electrically charged particles means they are talking about solar storms. So from the corona of the solar, that is the outer atmosphere of the sun, electrically charged particles which are made up of electrons, protons and alpha particles. These electron, protons and alpha particles continuously are being thrown by the sun in the outer space. So they come and reach to the earth and other planets. If they reach on the surface of the earth and other planets, they can damage the atmosphere, they can damage our bodies as well. They have that capabilities. Okay. So it is, this question is asking what prevents them from reaching on the surface. Okay, so what are the options? Earth's magnetic field divert them towards the pole. This is correct. So these electrically charged particles, Earth has a very strong magnetic field. This magnetic field repels these charged particles. Okay, so these charged particles are not able, 90 to 95% of the charged particles are diverted because of the Earth's magnetic field. Okay, this magnetosphere around the Earth protects Earth from these solar winds, solar charged particles coming from the sun. Remaining 5% charged particles, they are diverted towards pole. They don't go to the other parts of the earth. They are diverted towards pole. And because of that, on pole, you see the phenomenon called as the aurora formation. So option A is correct. B, ozone layer around the earth reflects them back to the outer space. Ozone layer is not capable of reflecting such charged particles in the outer space. So this is wrong. Moisture in the atmospheric upper layers of the atmosphere prevents them from reaching to the surface of the earth. Again, moisture is also not capable or not that much powerful to reflect these charged particles. So this is also wrong. So the correct option is A. Okay. Next question. Consider the following specific stages of demographic transition associated with the economic development. Okay, so they are talking about demographic transitions. How population changes happen once economic prosperity is achieved by the particular society or country. Okay, so low birth rate with low death rate, high birth rate with high death rate, high birth rate with low death rate. Okay, so definitely initially you are going to have high birth rate and high death rate. Okay, slowly people are going to be educated, they are going to understand science and technology, they are going to be little prosperous. So what will happen? Death rate will be less, but birth rate will be higher. So this is your first, third will be 2, and then in the end, when prosperity comes, science and technology becomes at its pinnacle, then low birth rate with low death rate. This is the third stage of demographic transition. So this is, the option will be 2, 3 and 1. So 2, 3 and 1, C. So C is the correct order, okay, about the demographic transition. Now, next question. Which of the following is the chief characteristics of mixed farming? What is a mixed farming? Okay, see, don't get confused between mixed cropping and mixed farming. Mixed cropping means what? In a farm, you grow jowar along with bajra, or you grow corn along with wheat. Okay, in one row you have a corn, one row you have a wheat, or simply you mix all the grains and throw simply in the land and you grow multiple crops. This is called as mixed cropping. Mixed farming means what? So different types of farming is there. So livestock farming is there, cropping is there. So you practice all this together. So you call it as a mixed farming. So what are the options? Cultivation of both cash crops and food crops, it is not mixed farming. Cultivation of 2 or more crops in the same field, this is mixed cropping. Rearing the animals and cultivation of crop together, so this is correct. Okay, so the correct option is option C. Okay. So this is a mixed farming. Next question. Particular state in India has the following characteristic. Okay, what are those characteristics? Okay, so these characteristics, it is located on the same latitude which passes through northern Rajasthan. So northern part of the Rajasthan, any latitude, let us say 26 degrees or something like that, it located at the same latitudes from which passes through the northern Rajasthan. It has 80% of its area under forest cover. Okay. Now let us say you don't know about this, whether which state it will be, you don't know about northern Rajasthan and latitude, but you know that 80% of the state in the India is the which has a forest cover. The only state that we have is Arunachal Pradesh. No state have this much amount of forest. Okay, so from option 2 only you will come to know this is Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, over 12% of the forest cover constitute protected areas and the other networks in this site. So Arunachal Pradesh have a huge forest area called as the diphtherocarp forest. Diphtherocarp forest is there, evergreen forest is there, semi-evergreen forest is there, and population density is very less. So most of the area is occupied by the forest. So the correct answer is option A, that is Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. Next question. Which of the following? Okay. Next question. Consider the following crops in India: cowpea, green gram, pigeon pea. Cowpea, okay. Cowpea, green gram, pigeon pea. Which of the above is used as a pulse fodder and green manure? Okay, which can be used as a pulse fodder and green manure? Cowpea, green gram मतलब क्या? मूंग दाल, आप खाते हो मूंग दाल. ओके, पिजन पी मतलब क्या? तूर दाल, दाल खाते हो आप, राइस खाते हो, वो तूर दाल. तो काउपी, ग्रीन ग्राम एंड पिजन पी, ये सारा हम लोग खाते हैं, तीनों खाते हैं. इसका मतलब इट इज यूज्ड एज अ पल्स. ओके, फॉडर एंड ग्रीन मैन्योर. फॉडर क्या है कि कैटल्स को खिलाने के लिए. ओके, तो तीनों भी खिला सकते हैं कैटल्स को. कैटल्स को कुछ भी खा लेते हैं, ये तो कितना प्रोटीनस है. ओके, आपको पता है घोड़े को भी खिलाते हैं हम ग्रीन ग्राम. ओके, सो तीनों चीजें आप खिला सकते हो. देन ग्रीन मैन्योर, you know these grams and all, they are very good, they have pods, so they are also nitrogen fixing. Okay, so they can be used as a green manure. Green manure means what? You have to grow them a little bit and then you have to bury them immediately into the soil. You call it as a green manure. So all three can be used as a green manure. So correct option, what is the correct option? Correct option is option D. Okay, next question. Consider the following. Okay, rotation of the earth, air pressure Air pressure and winds, density of the ocean water, revolution of the earth. Which of the following factor influences the ocean current? Okay, ocean current को क्या क्या influence करता है? Rotation of the earth influence करेगा, Coriolis force उससे ही बनता है. Okay, और क्या क्या? Air pressure and winds. Without winds, you know, the formation of the ocean currents is mostly because of the winds. It is one of the major force. Okay, density of the oceanic water. Density of the oceanic water is very important for the formation of the ocean current. क्योंकि highly dense water it sinks, okay, and the lighter water which has a less density it floats. So because of that, a kind of circulation happens between pole and equator. So this is also responsible for the ocean current formation. So density of the ocean water is also important. Revolution of the earth, because of that seasons are getting formed, but directly they do not impact the formation of the ocean current. So revolution of the earth is not responsible. So answer is B, 1, 2 and 3. So I hope you guys have understood this properly. Next question. Consider the following crops in India. Okay, what are the crops? Groundnut, sesame, pearl millets. Which of the above are predominantly rain-fed crops? Rain-fed means they are completely dependent upon the rain. So groundnut, you know, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, they are dependent upon the rain. Most of the crops in India, they are completely dependent upon the rain. Okay, right now we don't have much irrigation. Okay, so that we can provide the irrigation. They are completely dependent upon the rain and less amount of water we have to do the cropping. Sesame also dependent upon the rain. Pearl millet मतलब बाजरा भी rain fed ही है. So सारे के सारे rain fed ही है. So option is option D. Okay. Next question. When you travel in Himalayas, you will see the following. What you will see? Deep gorges. Yes, Himalayas, you have a deep gorges. Okay, rivers. Himalayas are very young mountains. Rivers are very young. Okay, so margin for the eroding the Himalayas is very high. So V-shaped gorges are there. U-turns of the river courses. U-turns of the river courses are also there. Okay, like Jhelum, it is meandering in the valley in the Srinagar, and once they come to the Haridwar Ganga, it also takes U-turns and meanders. Okay, parallel mountain ranges, definitely Himalayas are 3 parallel mountain ranges: Greater Himalaya, Lesser Himalaya and Shivalik. Steep gradients caused by landsliding. Himalayas are famous for landsliding. So all of the things you will see in the Himalayas. So these things are immediate, being in the Himalayas being the young fold mountains. So correct option is option D. Okay. Next question. Normally, the temperatures decreases with the increasing height from the Earth's surface. Okay. So as you move upward, temperature decreases. This is called as a normal lapse rate. What is the reason for that? The atmosphere can be heated upwards only from the Earth's surface. Yes. Earth's surface is heating the atmosphere. Sun is not directly heating the atmosphere from top. Earth's surface is emitting the long wave infrared radiation. Because of that, atmosphere is getting heated. तो सरफेस के नजदीक जो एयर होगी वो ज्यादा उसका टेम्परेचर होगा, ऊपर कम होगा. Okay, because the gases we call as the greenhouse gases, they are not able to absorb the short wave solar radiation. They can only absorb a long wave infrared radiation emitted by the Earth. So this is correct. The atmosphere can be heated upwards only from the Earth's surface. Mostly only from the Earth's surface. It is true. There is more moisture in the upper atmosphere. This is wrong. अपर एटमॉस्फेयर में उल्टा कम मॉइस्चर है, लोअर एटमॉस्फेयर में ज्यादा है. जैसे ही हवा ऊपर अपर एटमॉस्फेयर में जाती तो क्या होता है, कंडेंस हो जाती है और रेनफॉल होता है, तो ऊपर ड्राई एयर है. सो सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट इज रॉन्ग. द एयर इज लेस डेंस इन द अपर एटमॉस्फेयर. दिस इज ऑल्सो ट्रू. सो व्हेन एयर इज लेस डेंस, व्हाट हैपेंस, इट होल्ड्स लेस हीट. ओके, व्हेन इट इज होल्डिंग अ लेस हीट, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, द टेम्परेचर इज लेस एज यू मूव अपवर्ड. So 1 and 3 are the correct options over here. Okay, so I hope you understood this. The C is the correct option. Okay. Next question. The acidification of ocean is increasing. This phenomena is a cause of concern for what? So acidification of ocean is increasing because of the increasing carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere. So this carbon dioxide is getting mixed with the oceanic water and it is forming weak carbonic acids. So we call it as a acidification of the ocean. So अभी weak carbonic acid बन गया तो क्या होगा? The growth and survival of calcareous phytoplankton will be adversely affected. Definitely, phytoplanktons calcareous मतलब उनके अंदर कैल्शियम है. So weak carbonic acid जब कैल्शियम के साथ रिएक्ट करेगा तो उनकी बॉडी में जो कैल्कारियस मटेरियल है वो डिसॉल्व हो जाएगा और वो एनिमल्स जो है, प्लैंक्टन जो है वो वीक हो जाएंगे, उनकी डेथ होगी. सो ये सही है, 1 इज करेक्ट. द ग्रोथ एंड सर्वाइवल ऑफ कोरल रीफ्स विल आल्सो बी एडवर्सली अफेक्टेड. कोरल रीफ्स आल्सो emit calcium. Okay, so their growth will also be affected because of the acidification. The survival of some animals that have a phytoplanktonic larva will also adversely affected. Yes, all the ocean animals will be affected. Phytoplanktons are the part of ocean. Changing in the acidity and pH of the ocean is going to affect them. So 3 is also correct. The cloud seeding, the formation of cloud will also be adversely affected. Cloud seeding is not related to the ocean acidity. Cloud seeding is related to the let us say the small particles that are floating in the atmosphere. Around those clouds are getting formed. Okay, so salt particles, soil particles, dust particles, pollen grains, around which the cloud seeding happens, and not it is related to acidity. So option 4 is wrong. Okay, so sorry, statement 4 is wrong. So correct option is A, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so simple. Next question. What is the question? Which of the following sets of elements was primarily responsible for the origin of life on the earth? Origin of life, life कैसे आई अर्थ पे? Okay, so origin of life के लिए कार्बन चाहिए. Without carbon life is not possible. Okay, so कार्बन कहाँ पे है? So इसमें कार्बन नहीं है और इसमें भी कार्बन नहीं है. Okay, origin of life के लिए नाइट्रोजन भी चाहिए. Okay, without nitrogen your DNA cannot be formed. DNA in each and every organism, the basic element is a nitrogen in that. So nitrogen भी चाहिए, nitrogen यहाँ पे नहीं है. So carbon, hydrogen and nitrogen. These are the 3 things. So correct option is B. Okay. So in this way you can apply your logic without even looking at the option. You can apply your logic. Now carbon and nitrogen, they are the basic elements of life. Okay. Any organic thing, it requires carbon and nitrogen. Okay. So this is the correct option. Next, other than resistance to pest, what are the prospects for which genetically engineered plants have been created? Genetically engineered plants क्यों create किए? पेस्ट के अलावा क्या चाहिए? बहुत सारी न्यूट्रिशन बढ़ा सकते हैं, हम उनका शेप चेंज कर सकते हैं, शेल्फ लाइफ बढ़ा सकते हैं, और क्या क्या चीजें ड्रॉट रेजिस्टेंट बना सकते हैं. तो इसमें क्या क्या है? Enable to them to withstand drought. Yes, जीन चेंज करके हम उनको ड्रॉट रेजिस्टेंट बना सकते हैं. टू इंक्रीज द न्यूट्रिटिव वैल्यू ऑफ प्रोड्यूस. यस, जैसे कि मैंने बोला कि आयरन रिच बनाना बना रहे हैं वी इंडिया एंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया मिलके. सो न्यूट्रिएंट रिच प्रोड्यूस भी बना सकते हैं. राइस की वैरायटीज बहुत सारी बनाई है जो कि न्यूट्रिएंट रिच है. ओके, टू एनेबल देम टू ग्रो एंड टू फोटोसिंथेसिस इन द स्पेसशिप एंड स्पेस स्टेशन. ये भी कर सकते हैं. एडवर्स कंडीशन में जैसे स्पेस, वहां पे हम इनको ग्रो कर सकते हैं बाय जेनेटिकली मॉडिफाइंग. तो चाइना में स्पेसशिप से आने वाले राइस वगैरह वो अभी बेच रहे हैं. बहुत सारे राइस उन्होंने बनाए हैं स्पेसशिप में, बहुत सारे क्रॉप्स बनाए हैं, एंड दे आर क्रिएटिंग न्यू क्रॉप्स इन द स्पेस, एंड दे आर द सीड्स दे आर ब्रिंगिंग ऑन द सरफेस ऑन द अर्थ एंड प्लांटिंग देम एंड क्रिएटिंग अ ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ प्रोड्यूस एंड दे आर सेलिंग इट इनटू द मार्केट. ओके, सो दिस कैन बी डन टू इंक्रीज देयर शेल्फ लाइफ. वो भी हो सकता है. शेल्फ लाइफ भी आप बढ़ा सकते हो कि उनका कोट जो है वो ज्यादा स्ट्रांग बने. इट शुड नॉट गेट let us say affected by the fungus, bacteria. So shelf life can be increased. So all these can be done with genetic engineering. So correct option is option D. Okay, all this can be done. So option D is correct. Okay, next question. What is the next question? Recently there have been a concern, okay, over the short supply of the elements called rare earth metal. Why? So rare earth metals are the 17 elements that are used in the electronic industry, IT industry. They are used in the bulbs, semiconductors, so many places they are used. And China has an abundant amount of rare earth metals. Okay, So it is like they are the 90% of the rare earth metals are supplied by the China. So that's why these rare earth metals are very important for China, and entire world is dependent upon the China. So why there is a short supply recently, मतलब 2012 में, okay? China, which is the largest producer of this element, has imposed some restriction on their export, okay? ये भी सही है क्योंकि लगाया था. Other than China, Australia, Canada and Chile, these elements are not found in any country. Extreme statement है, ये wrong है. तो ये अगर निकाल दिया, बाकी कंट्रीज में भी मिलते हैं, इंडिया भी प्रोड्यूस करता है, चाइना जितना नहीं प्रोड्यूस करता है पर करता है, तो बी एंड डी जो है वो चला जाता है. थर्ड, rare earth metals are essential for manufacture of various kinds of electronics item, okay, and there is a growing demand of these elements. So ये भी सही है. So 1 and 3 are सही. So only C is the correct option. So the correct option is option C. So ये डेंग जियोपिंग था. डेंग जियोपिंग 1992 में बोल रहा था कि जब कल्चरल रिवॉल्यूशन हुआ था चाइना में, so he said that कि it is like the oil, like he compared rare earth metal with the crude oil. He said like how oil changed the economy of the Gulf nation, similarly rare earth metal is a oil for China. Okay, the availability of rare earth metal and their mining is at very peak in the China. So he said it is rare earth metal is a oil of China, and it is true. Right now they are controlling the huge amount of supply of rare earth metal, China. Okay, so here the correct option is option C. Next question. Consider the following. Okay, consider the following statements. क्या statement है? Duration of the monsoon decreases from southern India to northern India. सही बात है. शुरुआती सदर्न इंडिया से होती है, धीरे धीरे नॉर्थ पे आता है. देखो सदर्न इंडिया में जून में ही शुरू होता है, यहाँ पे दिल्ली में पहुंचते पहुंचते अगस्त आ जाता है, तो धीरे धीरे आ रहा है. तो ड्यूरेशन क्या होता है? बोथ ड्यूरेशन ऑफ द मॉनसून डिक्रीजेस. So in the northern India, monsoon happens for the lesser duration. The southern India, it happens for the larger duration. The amount of annual rainfall in the northern plains of India decreases from east to west. This is also true because northern plains of the India get maximum rainfall from the Bay of Bengal branch. Okay, and Bay of Bengal branch start giving rainfall from the eastern part of the India. Then it travels to the western part of the India, comes to the Punjab and Haryana later. So West Bengal, Bihar, Jharkhand, they get rainfall early and they get the maximum rainfall. By the time this Bay of Bengal branch it reaches to the Punjab, Haryana, it has shed most of its moisture. So the western part of the India gets lesser rainfall and the eastern part of the India gets the maximum rainfall in the plains, in the northern plains. So ये भी statement सही है. So both the statements are correct. C is the option. Both the statements are correct. Okay. Now next question. Is there next question? Yes. Next question. Which one of the following is the characteristics of tropical savanna region? Tropical savanna region 5 to 20 degrees के बीच में होता है. Okay. So यहाँ पे क्या होता है? Winter में it comes under the high pressure belt and summer it comes under the trade wind. So in the summer there is a rainfall. In the winter there is no rainfall. So rainfall throughout the year wrong है. Winter में rainfall नहीं होता है. Rainfall in the winter only ये भी wrong है. Summer में rainfall होता है. And extremely short dry season भी नहीं, ड्राई सीजन बड़ा होता है, 4 to 6 मंथ चलता है, ये भी रॉन्ग है. अ डिफाइनेट ड्राई एंड वेट सीजन. सो डेफिनेट ड्राई एंड वेट सीजन है. डेफिनेटली समर में देयर विल बी रेनफॉल एंड डेफिनेटली विंटर में इट विल बी ड्राई सीजन. सो डी इज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. Okay, so you should know all the characteristics of the major climatic regions in the world. That is most important thing. Okay, next question. What is the next question? Contour bunding, relay cropping, zero tillage. Okay, in the context of global climate change, देखो integrated way से question पूछ रहे हैं. Which of the above helps in carbon sequestration, storage in the soil? Carbon sequestration means what? You have to take the carbon from the atmosphere and store it somewhere, either in the soil or somewhere else in the ocean. Okay, so you want to reduce the carbon and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. For that, carbon sequestration is a very important process. So इसमें से कौन सी जो चीज है जो कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा कार्बन स्टोर करने में हेल्प करेगी? सॉइल में. Okay, so soil is the biggest source of carbon where you can store maximum amount of carbon, maximum quantity of carbon. Contour bunding, yes, contour bunding means what you do, you create bunds on the slope, on the mountain. okay, so that water, if the mountain is barren, so water does not erode the top surface of the soil. So soil erosion does not take place on the top surface. So because of that, what happens? When top surface is stable and it remains over there because of the contour bunding, it also helps water to percolate down into the rocks and into the soil. It is also important for the recharging of nearby aquifers. So because of that, carbon sequestration can be achieved. Okay, so when upper layer of the soil is not drained by the flowing water, then what happens? Lots of grasses, lots of trees, lots of plants will grow over there, and because of that, carbon sequestration will happen. So this is true. Relay cropping. Relay cropping means what? Before harvesting one crop, you plant another crop in between the gaps. So एक लाइन देखो, आप अभी हार्वेस्ट कर रहे हो व्हीट का क्रॉप, बट बीच दो व्हीट के क्रॉप का जो लाइन है, उन दो क्रॉप्स के लाइन में के बीच में जो जगह है, वहां पे व्हीट हार्वेस्टिंग के पहले ही आप नया क्रॉप प्लांट करो. सो व्हाट डज इट डू? सो इट यूजेस द agro waste which has been there in the soil before harvesting of the old crop. Okay, it is also using so like when you start the harvesting of the wheat crop, okay, when you harvest the wheat crop, then what happens? When you pluck its root, so soil will not be completely exposed to the sun, and in this way the carbon will be stored in the soil. Okay, so the second growing crop will use that soil, okay, and it will use that moisture. So because of that, carbon sequestration will happen. So relay cropping will also be helpful. Zero tillage. So tilling ही नहीं करना है. When you don't do the tillage, what happens? So the microorganisms in the soil, they are being preserved. Moisture in the soil is being preserved. So because of that, what happens? When these things are preserved, then they take care of the soil, they take care of the humus content in the soil. Humus content in the soil, it does not degenerate. Okay, so because of that, carbon itself does not degenerate into carbon dioxide in the soil. So zero tillage is also important for the sequestration of the carbon in the soil. So C is the correct answer, all three. Okay, so very important concept. Okay, तो ये थोड़ा सा बड़ा concept था, तो इसको थोड़ा डिटेल में पढ़ लेना आप एक बार. In this lecture, it is very difficult to tell you in the short format. Okay, so I apologize for that. It needs to give almost 15-20 minutes to explain this. Okay, so this is a 2012 question paper of UPSC, and I hope you guys have understood all the questions. Thank you. Bye bye.